Hey, there we are.
And here we are. Yay!
Good morning, everybody.
Good
Boy,
morning.
it has been quite a morning for us.
It
We have
has.
had technical difficulties over technical difficulties between audio and video and everything and being in multiple locations to make this show work. So it's going to be an amazing show today
It's going to be
because of all the
amazing.
difficulties we've gone through.
I love it. I love it. And
But
I
we're
think
here.
we're here, baby. We're here. All right. Well, we have a great show today. I know we're a little delayed. So, for those of you who are logging in before, we apologize for not being there on time. But you know what? We're talking about how to heal through remembrance, ritual, and community.
Yeah,
And that's a mouthful as a
it
topic.
is.
But we have so much goodness coming the rest of this year that we just wanted to basically get on and talk about the importance of really healing through these things. And we have some events coming up. And so we're going to kind of dive deep into them a little bit. And so let's
You bet.
just, because we're, like I said, a little bit behind, I'm just going to share some of this up front. So we have the next thing that we have coming up, and we're going to talk about why this is important.
Yes.
But the next thing we have coming up is the grief workshop and butterfly release. That's going to be, and I'm going to share this on my screen, Chris. This is the
Awesome.
invitation that people can sign up for. We're going to send, in fact, I just need to open my screen a little bit more. We're going to be sending this out through all the channels. I'm going to be putting the link in the comments.
Yes.
But what's cool is we have this event that is really going to be helpful for people who we have what to expect in your first years in your grief journey.
Yeah.
And we're going to not only be talking through with a licensed grief counselor, but we're also going to have a butterfly release, which is so symbolic. Chris, tell us, like, I know you do butterfly releases at funeral
Yes.
celebrations sometimes. Tell me a little bit about how that experience goes. Like,
Sure. And we do.
yeah,
We've done butterflies, and people have done balloons. We've released other things into the air and into the earth. But this butterfly is just really, it's a really special thing that we do. This is going to be our first time doing it as a part of a grief workshop, and giving people the opportunity to come out, maybe share their story of their struggles over their first year or so of losing their loved one, and closing the workshop with a butterfly release, and hopefully that release will give you some comfort in regards to, you could say, like, having a connection with your loved one's spirit going up into the air, and so it's really a beautiful thing. We've done it for families throughout the years, the butterfly releases, and they're just so amazing because we've done, like I said, balloons. They kind of go up fast and they dissipate into the air, and we've done doves, and the doves fly around for a little bit, but the butterflies seem to hover a little bit, so they stick around for a little bit. So it's kind of a real special thing. I know we've done also like scattering in the oceans, where you'll lay flowers on the water, and you'll do things like that, or there'll be floating urns on the water, and they float, and you have a little remembrance service, and so it's kind of cool. But we're just taking this time. It's summertime. It's the end of summer here, being in August. We're gonna get some butterflies. We're gonna have a time for
oh,
people to share, and those butterflies, it's going to be a beautiful time that people can kind of touch bases. My thing is, when I lost my wife Rhonda, she loved orange, and I get monarch butterflies in my backyard throughout the year. Now, butterflies are usually here spring and summer, but it's the
yep.
most amazing thing. In like November and December and January, I will have a monarch butterfly show up in my backyard. It's an orange one, because I know there's
Yeah,
yellow and orange. There's multiple colors of
sure, sure.
butterflies,
Yeah, but
but
that was Rhonda's color. I think it's her, like, I think, even though we know she's, up in heaven,
yeah,
I think sometimes it's a little God wink that, like, she's okay.
it
And
is.
she's just checking on you. Like, everything is okay, just so you have that little remembrance, which is
Yep.
wonderful.
And hopefully there's that connection with people showing up to our grief workshop and butterfly release. That maybe that will be a memory for you. I know every family has their own little quirk about their family member that they leave. Sometimes I've had families say the lights flicker, or the toilet flushes, or some crazy
Yeah.
things like that.
But it's whatever is meaningful to us. Like, for my
Absolutely.
mom, it's hummingbirds. So
Yes.
all in my backyard, sometimes I'm, you know, doing something, I don't know, whatever I'm doing, and a butterfly will zoom and literally, I know it's crazy, but
Yep.
the butterfly like zooms in. Like I have this swing that I sit
Yep.
on. I read out there, have a cup of coffee or whatever. It zooms in, looks at me,
Yep.
and then it zooms away. And I'm like, "Hey, mom!" Like I know it's not
Yep.
her, but
Yep.
it's like it's
It's
like a
just
little.
like you
It's a
said. It's a just that moment is like, hey, I'm thinking about you, or just
yeah.
keep me. Don't forget about me, type of thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And I
yeah,
think with this butterfly release, it isn't that we're saying
it's
it's
your
your
loved one.
loved one,
No,
but it's going to be a special time of remembrance, reflection, and healing as we
absolutely.
honor our loved ones together. And it's a symbolic release of butterflies. So
Yes.
if you're remembering someone who you recently lost or you're carrying memories from years ago, we're grateful if you can come alongside us. So it's going to be a workshop that a counselor is going to lead, and we're going to go
Yes.
through some different exercises to help through the grief journey because everyone is on a different path.
Yep. And it
And
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's been a younger person, a child, a spouse, a grandparent, a relative. It's for everybody, and it
yeah,
doesn't matter if you're struggling. It doesn't matter what your struggle is. Come on down because other people out there are struggling too. You're not
yeah,
alone.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love that. And I think that too, and I'm going to grab this link and I'll put it into the comments now so people can actually sign up now. It's also, that I didn't mention, it's actually the National Bereavement Day. In
Yeah.
fact, Michael is the one who pointed that out to me. Michael, who handles Walker,
Yeah.
and it's National Bereavement Day. It's also called the National Grief Awareness Day. So we
Yes.
picked that day. It's on a Sunday specifically because of that reason.
Yep.
Because I think coming together and remembering someone who we've lost is very healing.
It is.
And so I hope that that's something. Oh, we have some people live. I love it. Oh my goodness. Laura, who's a friend of mine, is going to a funeral for her aunt today. Oh, Laura, we're so sorry for your
Oh,
loss.
we're thinking of
Um,
you.
and she said that she loved dogwood flowers.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
that's wonderful. And she said that she loves butterfly. Her my father daughter dance. Oh, with
Oh,
butterfly
butterfly
kisses.
kisses.
Oh, that's such a good song. Laura, thank you so much for joining in
Sharing.
today.
Thank you for
I
sharing.
wish you lived local. She lives out in, I believe it's Minnesota. You can, if you're still watching, you can correct me. Um, so I just put in there the link that goes to wherever we're showing. But that would be so great if you could come over here, Laura. Fly on out, Laura. It's in
There we
August. It'd
go.
be great. You can stay with me. I love it. And she stayed with me before, so that would work. Okay. So that was one of the events we were talking about. And
Yeah.
again, we want to provide these events at Thomas Miller because I think it's important that people realize that the space that you've created at Thomas Miller Mortuary isn't just for death.
No.
It's a place of we have the reception center which people can rent out if they have
Yep.
an event. It holds 20 comfortably if they're all seated,
Yep.
or if you know like in a with tables,
Yep.
or it can be like a theater style, or if we have like a standing reception, we actually could put tents outside. It's a
Yep.
beautiful location.
Yeah.
And I think it's a place that people, if they're looking for a meeting space, that's great. But we like bringing people there. We've had paint parties in there and other grief workshops. I think
Yeah.
it's, we want people to feel comfortable at this location.
Yeah.
So,
And I think what we've done with over the years, we've always remodeled or decorated. I think our chapel is very, very warm and welcoming. It doesn't look like a funeral home. It doesn't smell like a funeral home because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to go into a funeral home. It's got a funky smell. It smells old and musty."
no,
Ours doesn't.
no,
We keep it contemporary. We keep it modern. We keep it fresh, and we want to keep it inviting. We don't want you not to come. We want to invite everybody to come celebrate their loved ones, their family members, and we want it to be a special, safe place for everybody to come to celebrate their loved one.
I love that. Sherilyn, thank you for hanging in there. Sherilyn is Keisha's mom, and she
Nice.
actually texted saying, "Where's the show?" We, we normally are on at 9 o'clock, and thank you for
Uh,
holding us accountable, Sherilyn. We just had a lot of technical difficulties this morning, but you know
yeah,
what? We
we're here.
persevered. Yes, to bring this information out. So I absolutely love that. Okay, so the next event we want to talk about is our this will be our second annual
Yes.
Dia Sos Muertos Day of the Dead celebration, and we're going to have it on Saturday, October 24th. And tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about last year's event and why it was so special and why you're doing it
Yeah.
again.
So last year it was great. We wanted to memorialize this celebration because in our community we have a lot of Hispanic families.
Yeah,
And we've always done like a holiday program and stuff, but the Dia de los Muertos is very special to the Hispanic community
Yes.
of memorializing their loved ones. And so we
Yes.
said, you know what, let's create a special time for them to come in. So we got the rights to show the movie Coco, and we invited the community. It was a free event for anybody and everybody to show up. We had popcorn night, and we had some sodas and popcorn, and it was just a night of people to come watch a movie just with no barriers, just enjoy themselves, and just maybe think about their loved one during the season of Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. That's awesome. And
Yeah,
it was fun
and
because there were kids that came
we
and
had
they sat
kids.
right in the front row. And you said something, Chris, that it totally made me giggle and it made their day. You said, "Hey kids, tomorrow when you go to school, you can tell everybody that you saw a movie in a mortuary."
That's right.
And they were
So
like, "Yeah."
movie night in the mortuary. That's what we call it, and
Yeah.
it's on Saturday, October 24th. We've moved it up a week, so it's not on. The Dia de los Muertos is always the day after Halloween, so it's
Yes.
usually like November 1st. But and
Yes.
last year Halloween I think was on a Friday or Saturday, and we didn't want to compete, and so we did it the week after. Because I know there's so many other events going on, so we don't want to compete against the other major events, and also that day, November 1st, is such a special day for those families. They usually stay home, they do some cooking, they do some personal celebrations.
And they have
So
their
that's why
altars, their
they do. They create their own altars and their memorializations for their loved ones. So we don't want to compete with that, but we just want to celebrate it. And that's why we're
yes.
doing it the week before this year. So we kind of catch up and get you in the mood and get you prepared
Yes.
to have that celebration.
Exactly.
So we were actually specially honored this year at my funeral home organization, Order of the Golden Rule, OGR. We were recognized for the Community Service Award by actually putting this event on last year. So I was really tickled about that too.
Yeah.
That my counterparts in OGR, Order of the Golden Rule, recognized me for doing a cool community event that was kind of outside the normal of just doing the everyday type of Christmas program. We
Right.
did it. We changed it up and had a movie and had all the entertainment and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we're inviting you out this year to come and join us on Saturday, October 24th. The time will be in the early evening. It'll be
Yeah.
around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So
Yeah.
you'll still be able to have dinner and then come out for a movie afterwards on a Saturday night. So
Yeah.
we
That'll
encourage
be fun.
everybody to come. Bring all
Yep.
kids of all ages, and we have seating. It's for about the first 150 people or so
Yeah. Yep.
for seating in our chapel. So it's air conditioned, it's indoors, and it's in a safe space. So come on down and enjoy on October 24th.
I love it. Exactly. And we also might have some little treats, candy for the kids and
Sure.
some little remembrance. Last year, actually, we did this remembrance tree where people could write a little love note to their loved one
Yep.
and hang it on the tree. And we'll do some fun,
Yep.
special things. But we do, again, like you said, we want to make it special. And then the following week, obviously, it's gearing up for that, which is wonderful.
Yes.
And then you mentioned something that is next on the docket. We're basically doing something every other month the rest of this year. So in December, we do a really special thing every other year. And tell us a little bit about the holiday remembrance.
Sure. We've been doing this memorial celebration for about 20 years. And it's a time that what we do is we invite families that we've served over the past year, and it's usually from October to October. We will invite them to our funeral home
Mhm.
for an annual holiday remembrance memorial service.
Yes.
And again, we know the holidays are a hard time when you get into from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You have birthdays and anniversaries too. But those holidays, the first year, are always really difficult, and we wanted to let people know that they're not the only ones out there. We pack our chapel. We always have over 130 to 150 people in our chapel show up. What we do is we have a beautiful service, the non-denominational service, so all faiths are invited.
Yes.
We have a Christmas tree that we decorate with Christmas balls with an ornament with your loved one's name on there. And we have a
So special.
beautiful celebration. We have some scripture readings. We sing Christmas songs, and we just have some very special, meaningful messages from some local pastors in our community that will speak on the struggles and trying to get through and coping through the holidays. And then what we do is we also have a little memorial video tribute. So we ask all the families that are participating to provide a photograph of their loved one, and we'll put a little video together just to let everybody know that we're thinking of them. And then
I love
after
it.
that, we invite each family up to receive their ornament. And so we will pull the ornaments off the tree. We read their name. We invite the family to take their ornament back to their seat. So then they can bring that ornament home and place it on their Christmas tree, knowing that their loved one is amongst them during that holiday season.
That's wonderful because I think that, the first year, that's why our workshop in August is all about your first years, because it doesn't have to be just the first year, the
Yes,
first years after death. You're kind of lost, right? Like
absolutely.
you don't know how to set yourself for the new normal. Like as you know, you're a widower, and
Yeah,
like the first ever of everything is hard, and especially Christmas time. Like
yeah,
all the holidays, every faith has seems to have a celebration in December, and it's just tough to get through. And like you said, knowing that there are other people around that are in the same position at the same time, sometime in that past year, I think brings comfort um, to them. And so I know that when you were going through it, Chris, when
yeah,
you lost your wife in 2017, to sweet Rhonda,
yeah.
um, tell me about the first year and how those holidays impacted you and your family.
Sure. I mean, the first year was, you can kind of say it was a little bit empty because Rhonda was the one that always kind of did all the decoration and did all the gathering and stuff like that. So we had to create some new tradition. We had to modify things a little bit, and it was a struggle for the kids. But ever since then, the kids do come over to my house. They usually come over Christmas Eve. We usually have dinner with all the family, but my kids, ever since her passing, have always come over and spent the night. And then Christmas morning, we're always there at my house to
Yeah.
open gifts. And I know this year is going to be a little different because I do have a grandson now, and
Yes.
so my little grandson Chance, I think he's going to be almost he'll be over almost 2 years old. He'll be like 22 months old. So I think mom and dad want to keep him home for Christmas morning.
Yes.
So we're going to be changing traditions up again this year. So
Yeah.
I will be together for Christmas Eve, but then they're going to go home that night, and then I'll have to go down and visit them on Christmas morning. So
Yeah.
I won't be hosting Christmas morning anymore. But that's all part of life, and I'm okay with that. You know,
Yeah. I was gonna say
as a
that's
grandparent, you've got to do that. You've got to let go. And I know some parents or some grandparents have a hard time letting go, but you need to allow the next generation, allow your children to host those types of events
yeah,
and start their traditions,
exactly.
knowing that you've done it for so many years, you got to give it up.
You gotta
And
pass
so
that mantle or the
yeah,
torch.
you pass the torch. You pass the torch.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we've had to do that with some of our holidays. We've had to pass the torch. And I know it's a struggle on some of the, like my mom's and my dad's and my in-laws and stuff like that. It's hard on them,
Yeah.
but they've got to let go to give the next generation their opportunity to create their traditions and
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
you want a chance to be able to come downstairs and see the presents under the
that's
tree
right.
and all that kind of stuff. And it
You
is a
know,
hassle. And I remember our same thing with our family. Like we have 6 kids and my husband has 7. We're both the babies. So like, hello.
yeah,
And so we would always go to grandparents and then we started having our own. We wanted that. So
yeah,
and I think it was cool because our parents didn't guilt us.
yeah.
Oh, you need to come up. They were like, "No, go
Well,
ahead. Like we'll spend
there are some
after."
parents that guilt their kids. So
Yeah.
I say to those parents, let your kids start their traditions and go with the flow.
Yes.
You got to let it go. It's kind of nice, my mom hosted Thanksgiving for years, and it's just been the last year or two I've been able to host it. I go, heck, mom, I'm going to be in my 60s. I'm going to host maybe another 7 or 8 or 9, but then I got to give it up to my kids. I want them to host it. It's like
Right. Well,
I want
less
to host
work
it
for
while I can
you.
host it. That's right. So you got to do it for your 5, 10 years of hosting or 15 years, and then you got to pass it down to the next generation. You can still bring the turkey, you can still bring the gifts, but
Yeah.
you got to do it in another location. So give it up, and you know what? It's kind of nice not when everybody leaves, they're not at your house anymore to do the cleanup late at night. You don't have to do as much. You can say it's like when you babysit the grandkids. You can give them back. It's like, well, if you're going to their house, you can say, "I'm out of here. I'm going home." you don't have to clean up the mess.
Right. I know
It's,
exactly.
I'm all for that too.
That's the one benefit of having grandchildren, right? You can spoil them rotten, give them a lot of candy, and send them home,
Send them home.
right?
There you go. That's
Sherilyn
right.
actually said, "Congratulations on the grandbaby," which is
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's kind of like what we wanted to talk about today was again the
Yeah.
three events. So if you go in the comments, excuse me, there's the RSVP for the event that's coming up on October. Um, sorry,
24th.
August 30th. August
August
30th.
30th, October 24th,
Yep.
and December 5th.
Yep, December 5th, exactly, every other month.
There you go.
So I just think as you were mentioning before, something that we promoted this show when it was scheduled for 9 o'clock is, learning what the first year of grief can really feel like and
Yeah.
why we don't have to walk it alone. I think you've said over and over again in your shows that it's the community around you. It doesn't have to be the whole city, but it could
No,
be like your neighbors, your
it's your
family,
group.
your whatever. It's knowing that people have your back. And I think that there's something that I was going to actually share with you. Like, I think people sometimes don't celebrate certain holidays that we do, but they might celebrate other things. Like, I
Yeah.
talked to a widow that said, I don't celebrate our wedding anniversary. I celebrate our dating anniversary.
Oh,
The
nice.
first time we had our first date. And I said, wow. She says, yeah, so that's what I like to celebrate. But everybody always talks about your anniversary, or it might
Sure.
be like a special trip you took, like to Europe together, whatever. I think that all of these things are. So during the grief workshop, that's going to be on August
30th.
30th. I was looking for the little date here. I think that it's important that we recognize the dates that are important to us.
Yes.
And that we'll be doing a little bit of a journaling segment so they can talk about those feelings and how to deal with them when it comes, which is awesome. So
And I was going to say, we're talking about grief and rituals and community, and I want to say a couple things. It's good to have those rituals, like you said, create unique rituals for yourself. If it's a date night or a special date or a special event that you did with that loved one that you lost, continue that for your own. It doesn't have to be a special holiday. It doesn't have to be, Christmas, New Year's, a birthday, and anniversary. It could be something different. But then
yeah,
also, when it comes to community, as you mentioned, it's so important to get engaged and not be recluse and stay home. If you belong to a church, continue going to church, get involved in the church. If you
yes,
belong to a community service organization like a Rotary Club or Seroptimus Club or something like that, continue to go. That is an additional support group that you have. And it's
right,
important to continue to do those things, or volunteer in your community somewhere. Volunteer at the library, volunteer maybe at a school, maybe at your grandchild's school,
yeah.
maybe be grandparent day and stuff like that. You can read to the children and things like that.
Wouldn't
So
that be lovely? Like even volunteering at the library, they're always looking for people like docents to read, and you could take that. That's a fantastic idea,
it
Chris.
is. Well, and there's, and the thing is, there's so much out there about the elderly being neglected or not being engaged or involved. And part of it is their fault too, until as long as they're able to get out and move, you should continue to get out and move and go to the libraries, get out into the community, give back to the next generation or the generation to come up. We're losing that. Tell
Yes.
your story to the current generation, because history isn't being told. The struggles that you lived, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s aren't
Yeah.
being told today. You need
Right.
to let them know so they can appreciate where they're at because of what you've done.
Yeah. Oh, that's so important, Chris. Actually, yesterday would have been my grandmother's, and if you'll laugh at me that I add these up, but it would have been her 128th birthday yesterday if she
Yeah.
was alive. But she lived. I actually took care of her last 8 months of life.
Uh-huh.
She lived almost 98.
Wow.
So yeah, and so I posted on Facebook like some of our conversations. Like she wasn't like super impressed with all the things I thought she would be. Like I was like, oh my gosh, grandma, like, we've walked on the moon and we have I said, in your lifetime, the radio started, television started, automobiles started. Like she was born in 1898. So she'd always like, well, that's
Yeah,
nice.
I can't hear you. Your
You
volume went out, but I'm just nodding.
okay? This has been our
I don't
day,
know what
guys.
happened, but you
I
just
know.
keep
Well,
going. We're
Hopefully,
gonna have to
hopefully,
bring this show to a close here pretty soon because we're
yeah,
still having technical difficulties. It looks like
exactly.
today. I don't
It's
know
all
what's
right.
going
It's
on.
all right. Well, I'm gonna put up here that
But one more
we
time, let's just say our next show is going to be August 7th.
August 7th.
We also,
Yep.
just to reiterate, our upcoming events coming up, we have August 30th. It's our grief workshop and butterfly release.
Yep.
I encourage you to sign up. The space is limited. So
Right.
early signups is encouraged so then we can make sure you have a seat.
Yes.
Then in October, we have our Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead celebration, Saturday, October 24th. We'll give you specific times later on, but it'll be somewhere in the early evening around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And then our Holiday Remembrance Memorial Service, which will be on Saturday, December 5th, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And as I told you a little bit, it's a beautiful service. It goes about 45 minutes to an hour. Come
Okay.
out, bring your family, remember your loved one, and we'll remember you throughout the holidays.
I love it. I love it. So hopefully everyone can hear both of
Thank you,
us. We
Mary.
just can't hear each other. And I will see you later. Have a wonderful time on your vacation. And we'll
I
see you
can't hear
guys
you what
on
she said, but I'm
October
sure it was
7th.
beautiful. Thank you, Mary. We'll see you. We'll see you in August after my summer travels and stuff. So you all be safe this summer, everybody. Hopefully you've
Stay
enjoyed your
hydrated.
summer. If you continue to do some vacationing, travel safe, don't drink and drive, and enjoy yourselves. Live life to the fullest.
I love it. Thanks, Chris. Have a great day. God bless everybody.
So long. Take care.